Hi, welcome to the YouTube channel. Before we proceed, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share the video, like it, comment. I want to know what you think about what I've been doing. I don't just want to be doing videos. So today we want about the reason why you need to be spraying your pepper fungicide, insecticide every week. We all know before you plant your pepper, the first thing you need to do is to make a nursery where you spread your pepper. There are some people that use a nursery tray. Some people use nursery tray. Some people use normal raised bed to make their nursery. Then, before you make your nursery, it is very important that you mix your nursery sand with at least a few organic fertilizer. It can be pig dungs, it can be poultry dungs, so that your input will come out well. Now, after you are done doing all those things, after a few days, it is necessary you transplant your pepper to the site. So before you transplant your pepper, like I said, it is very important that you apply nematicide. Nematicide, it's used to control all the nematodes that are inside your soil. So it is very, very important you apply nematicide. We have different type of nematicide. We have worm force and so on and so forth. So you apply it to your soil. There are different ways of applying it. Some people, they used to make holes. They will dig wherever you want to plant and dump small quantity. But I feel that one takes time. So the method I use is that I used to pour it inside the snapshot sprayer, then I spray the land I want to use it for. But you make sure that you spray it very well. You spray it very well. So after you are done doing that you've transplanted your pepper, you need to stay for a week before you start applying chemicals. But when you are done staying for at least a week, you need to apply fertilizer. We have different type of fertilizer. We have NPK 5015, we have NPK 2020. We have some other fertilizer that are liquid based. We have Super Grow, but I don't know why. I just like the work that Super Grow has been doing in my farm. I'm currently using Super Grow on most of my pepper. I bought a NPK 2020, but I only use it once. The cons that I had then was that when I use it on my pepper, some of it died off, maybe due to the fact that the worker that we did it together, he was not really knowledgeable about applying all those kind of chemicals. So most of those pepper, they died. But when we're talking about Super Grow, you just need to pour. Let's assume you want to spray. Let's assume you want to use a snapshot sprayer of 16 liter. You just need to pour like 10 ml or 20 ml of Super Grow in this stuff. Then you spray it on your pepper, spray it on whatever you want to spray it on. Then after you are done applying fertilizer, there are two important chemicals that you need to be using every two weeks at least. So I use it every two weeks though, but some people used to do it every 7 to 10 days. That is, every 7 to 10 days you apply the fertilizer again. One of it is insecticide. The work of insects on any crop is not something that we can just overlook. We have different type of insects, and they have different type of work they are doing. There are some insects that if they enter your farm, within 1 week you will start crying. Like there has been a scenario whereby grasshopper enter my cassava farm, and within 1 month an acre of cassava turned to sticks. I was only seeing white sticks. There was nothing like leaves again. They ate everything. So it is very necessary you have insecticide. You are dealing with something that will bring out flowers, that will give you fruit, or that will give you, yes, let me use that word, fruit. So it is necessary you use insecticide. Now another one that you need to use is fungicide. This one is used to control fungi. Fungicides are used to control fungi. We have different type of fungicide, but the one that I've used that I can vouch for that it actually works well is we have green force, we have some other fungicide, we have cultivator, we have a SAF. SAF is very okay, but it is somehow expensive. So now the type of insecticide I use is Dominator. I use Dominator as insecticide, and I am currently using Green Force as a fungicide. So now to apply all these things in your farm, you have to be careful also, so that you don't pour too much fungicide or you don't pour too much insecticide on your plants. Now to apply them is very easy. When you are pouring it, you can use the cover of this insecticide. Let's assume the place you want to deal with is very big. For one knapsack sprayer, you can use the cover of this insecticide, and for this one, you can just measure a quarter. You can just measure a quarter of. This is how it looks. You can just measure, and this is how the Dominator looks. So you can just measure a quarter of a tin, then you can use it. So the work of fungicide, it helps to restore N bacteria into the soil. That is nitrogen fixing bacteria. It helps to restore it onto the plant and into the soil. So, and you know your plant really needs it. Now follow me as we'll be spraying our own insecticide and fungicide on our pepper, that is chili pepper F2. Follow me as we'll be doing that, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share and comment. Share it with your people. Looking forward to seeing your comment. Thank you so much. Let's go. Now let's go and spray the chemical. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Now, let us spray the bed. Let me show you how to spray the bed, so that when you have your pepper on your raised bed like this, it is necessary you spray them before you do the last transplanting onto the field. So this is how to spray the bed, and this gentleman is showing us the best way to spray the bed. And if you notice something with this bed, we use mosquito net to cover it, so that there will not be insect infestation. But despite the fact that we use mosquito net, some fungi still find their way to enter this place. We use pure dungs, well preserved manure. We use it to plant the pepper. Now let's go. The gentleman is taking his time very well to spray the pepper very well, and you can see that he's well guided. Fungicide and insecticide, they are chemical that when you use them, you need to wash your hand, wash your face, wash everywhere. But you put on all the necessary guard to protect his leg, because if you do not protect your leg and you are spraying these two chemicals, you will start feeling some kind of burning sensation. Oh, so you will start feeling some kind of burning sensation. So that is why it is necessary. Guide your body. So I know you might have been thinking, how did we mix the two chemicals together? Or is it possible to mix the two chemicals together? Yes, it is very, very possible to mix the two chemicals together. You know, one is insecticide and the other one is fungicide. If you want to mix them differently, you know, the time taken to spray one, then to spray the other one will be too much. So it is very necessary to think of different ways to curb energy wastage. That is, not wasting your energy on things that are not necessary. So we've tried it many times and it is working. Mixing the two chemicals together, spraying them together, and it's working. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, to like this video, share it with your friends. Pepper is very profitable, as we all know. In Nigeria now, pepper is very, very expensive. It has ready-made markets. That is, you don't need to be looking for who will buy your pepper like other goods. You just need to take it to the market, and the people that will buy it, they are already there. So pepper is very, very necessary. There's nothing you can do without eating pepper. There's nothing you can even eat. Let's assume in a week you will eat pepper up to like 4 or 5 times, if not even 7 times. That is in a week. So not even 7 times, like you will eat it for like 4 or 5 days in a week, if not even the whole 7 days. So there's no shortcut to eating pepper. You just have to eat it. And you know, the production of pepper in Nigeria, we've not really met the demand. The demand is higher than the supply. So it is necessary you also go into pepper farming, so that you will not be buying, so that no woman will be talking to you anyhow in the market. You understand now? Okay, okay. Now, as fine as you are still pricing this type of pepper. When you have it at your backyard, nobody will talk down on you. So think about it. Invest, or you can just use your backyard to farm pepper. Let's also see how far we've gone with the spraying of our pepper. Thank you. See that my pepper are bringing out flowers already, but this flower is supposed to be more than this. Hadn't been, I have sprayed it when they were bringing out flower. I noticed this pepper, it got infected with fungi. For example, this particular pepper that you are looking at, some of the leaf have dropped. Some of the leaves are dropped. That is a typical effect of fungi. This particular one that you are looking at, some of the leaves are folding. You have folding leaves here. Those are the effects of fungi. And this one is looking heavy, and this one has folding leaves, and this one has dropping leaves. And I think the major culprit of this whole scenario is this okra that one of my farmer planted. So it was when I planted it without my profile. So this is the major culprit. It is this okra that invited different diseases into my pepper farm. Like this particular one you are looking at, it has a very yellow leaves. The leaves are yellow, and it's a very typical example of fungi infection. So I noticed those three major diseases. That is the folding of leaves, the dropping of leaves, and the yellowish color I noticed. This one that you are looking at, the leaves, some of the leaves have dropped and it's just regenerating. So those are the pros. Those are the cons that can come with not spraying your pepper the time you're supposed to spray it. And the reason why you do not spray this one the time I'm supposed to spray it is because the person that will handle the spray was not around, and the man that planted the okra was the one that gave the chemical to spray it. So he did not spray it well. You see, this one is having its leaves folding, then you have yellow color on it. So after spraying with fungicide, all these things that you are seeing will turn back to green. So they will become very green, and there will not be anything to be worrying about. So you can see this one is looking heavy, this one too looking heavy, this one infected, looking heavy. So that's how we have different type of cases on this pepper site. So we have different cases of diseases. You see this major culprit, this is another okra. You see that it's having its leaf perforated. So an okra that has a perforated leaves invited fungi, this one. So I am not just controlling the fungi inside my pepper only. So I actually wanted to just get rid of all the okra, but I decided those okra also can bring out something great. So I decided to leave them. Then these are another section. I have another section here. All these ones, they've been controlled. You see, they are looking great. You see, almost all the okras have been infected, and they've successfully passed those infections to my pepper. All these ones are looking great. Now, as you can see that all the pathways inside this pepper are looking neat. They are looking neat. Because of the irrigation material that I used, I was not using. I actually have used cutlass and blade before, but because of the irrigation materials I am using, I stopped, because whenever we use cutlass or whenever we use hoe on this farm, yes, if you notice this farm pathway, you see that everywhere is looking neat, like I said the other time. And I said that the reason why I adopted the using of chemical is because my worker, second worker, whenever he's working on this, in this pepper site, he used to cut my irrigation drip tape with cutlass. I don't know how he used to do it, but whenever he work on it inside this, he will surely cut it with something. So and the money that I used to get this irrigation drip tape is very, very expensive. So in order to curb the stress that they used to go through whenever they are doing it, to curb the stress and to make it more effective, because whenever they use cutlass or they use inside this place, the thing just used to be very effective for like two weeks. Then after 2 weeks, the whole setup will not be great again. So in order to curb that was the reason why I started using chemical. And whenever I'm using chemical, I used to use a spray guide. So that spray guide is in form of a conical shape, and it has its own discharging endpoints inside. So that's the reason why they are looking neat, and none of the chemical is actually affecting the pepper because of the spray guide, because that spray guide will prevent the spreading of those chemicals. So the chemical will not spread anyhow to where it is not supposed to go. So the spray guide is like is acting like a guide, is acting like a shield to prevent the chemical from going to where it's supposed to not go. So that is the reason why it is important you learn before you start. You don't start to learn. Learn from the people that they've made mistakes. Learn from the people that they've done trial and error. Learn from the people that are ready to change. So it is very necessary you watch the video, learn. We'll be planting another set of pepper to fill up the spaces of the missing pepper here on this site due to the chemical misusing of the fertilizer that I talked about the other time, or due to the fact that the drought that happened in March was too much. So my well was not giving enough water, and we have to give them water. So the water was not enough. It is only all these ones that you are seeing that survived. So we want to rerun them. We want to plant those. We want to fill up those spaces so that when we harvest bountifully. So that's why we add that bed that I showed the other time. So in few days times we'll be filling up those spaces, and I'll make a video to show you the best way, the best method to use when you are planting your pepper. Don't just dip your pepper into the ground. There are some criteria, there are some steps you need to take in order to plant your pepper. One of it is that, like I said the other time, that when you want to plant your pepper, you need to firstly dig a hole. You fill the hole up with organic manure. It can be poultry dung, it can be pig dung, it can be cow dung, it can be anything. Just make sure it is not fresh cow dung. Just make sure it is not fresh poultry dung, and make sure it is not fresh pig dung. Make sure it is the one that has turned to manure. That's the one you fill up with those holes. So when you are done doing that, the next thing is to introduce your plant, and within 2 to 3 days you see your plant doing well. They will not die off. And when you want to plant, let's leave that one for the videos when you want to rerun all these spaces that you are seeing. So thank you so much for your time so far. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please, I really need you guys on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, share these videos with your friend, comment and like. I need to see your comments. I need to know your view. Comments and likes. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.
Bye.